Hello, everyone. Mark Rhodes. Time for three questions with, hey, you've probably watched one. Hopefully you've watched one by now, so you know what these are about, but just getting to know some of our community leaders out there, people that give so much time and effort and energy to the community just to help us all use Business Central and Nav better. And one of those people is Steve Endow with Precipio Services, who I have with me today. Hi, Steve.
Hello and good morning, afternoon, whatever time it is.
Yes, good morning, good afternoon to you. And I got to say right now, you're looking pretty smart with the short haircut because I'm thinking, man, I got to go get a haircut and I don't know what I'm going to do, but it's about
Yep,
that time. So, but with all that, I have three questions for you. Are you ready to go?
let's go.
Excellent. Well, first off, we always like to start out with just kind of understanding who we're talking to. So, who is Steve? Who is Precipio Services?
Well, I am a longtime Microsoft Dynamics ERP application and consultant and developer. And I started working with GP back in 2004, I think.
Wow.
Prior to that, I'd done PeopleSoft, Solomon 4, back as it was called before Dynamics SL,
Right.
through Deloitte and Touche. So I had many years of experience at
Oh,
Deloitte and Touche back in the day.
Big
And
Five guy. I didn't know that. I
yep,
was with
yep,
Arthur Anderson for quite a while.
yep, right out of
Awesome.
college with Deloitte. And then I started working with Dynamics GP in 2004
Mhm.
and was with a partner at the time. And around 2007, I went off on my own and focused on integrations and customizations for Dynamics GP. Since I had a development background, that seemed to be a niche that I was able to fill. And I
Right.
was Dynamics GP partners who needed the assistance in that area, but didn't want to have to hire a full-time developer.
Yeah.
And so I helped partners and customers develop those customizations and integrations for Dynamics
Oh,
GP.
right.
And now fast forward to 2020, and I'm now transitioning over to work with Business Central. So
Woohoo.
the new kid on the block, right?
Yeah.
For me at least, right? For the Nav folks in the community, it's
Right.
you've been working with it for years, but yeah. So I'm focusing on Business Central SaaS only, no on-prem. So Business
Mhm.
Central SaaS application customizations, integrations, whatever comes up, and I'm going up that very steep learning curve to learn all about Business Central and the many tools and technologies that it involves.
Do you feel like you're still drinking through the fire hose, or you're starting to get a sense of how it all fits together?
I'm I have a pretty good feel for all the pieces now,
Yeah.
but like many things in the SaaS world, the change is happening so quickly.
Exactly.
Even the experienced people, I'm
Yeah.
watching Eric Hugard, I'm watching Waldo, I'm watching people on Twitter
Right.
who they think they have it nailed down, and then a
It's
new release comes along,
Yep.
something
Yep.
changes, and they have to retrofit their processes. So,
Oh yeah.
um, and and a good analogy was I was taking one of the first. It wasn't even called Business Central. It was called Financials back when this course was offered by Carrie
Hmm.
at NewView. And I took the class with her. While we were in the middle of the class, a new release changed the user interface and completely broke her training curriculum.
Yeah.
So she
Yeah.
is trying to change the class on the fly. And that is still true today. Um, Anyone who says they have Business Central, all the tools and technologies nailed, just wait till tomorrow and we're all starting over. So
Yeah.
on the one hand, that is challenging. On the other hand, I'm used to that as a consultant, right?
Mhm.
And I find it enjoyable. There's always learning. It's nonstop learning. So it's a little frustrating at times, but it's always fun and it's what I'm used to. So
Good times indeed. Yes.
yes.
I got to say, I've thought quite a bit about the VARs, about the ISVs over the past couple of years. Boy, if they can get through this transition, they can handle anything because these wholesale changes, as you already discussed, right? It's not happened once, not twice, it's several times, and the story
Yep.
continues to unfold. I don't how they adapt their business model and keep up with these changes and still produce products. Live, pretty impressive we all buy into this is the right way to go, but boy, the
Right.
transition's been hard. Yeah.
And I coming from the GP world, I thought, wow, this is going to be a huge
Mhm.
transition, which it has been. And
Yeah.
so many partners have transitioned. Others, I think, are just still finally realizing that they may need to investigate as customers start asking for it. I was under the mistaken impression that nav folks would have a much easier transition. But I quickly learned that even longtime nav users, developers, and partners, it's it's a huge change for them as well. I
Yeah.
was in some
Yes.
sessions with developers, and they're like, I get what is that? Visual Studio Code, what is that?
Right.
And so
Right.
they're having to retool just as much as me. They have some fundamental knowledge, but it's a big transition for everyone.
Yeah, not only the development tools, the architecture, how you're allowed to interact with the data, all of
Yep.
that. Yeah, yeah,
Yep.
absolutely.
And Docker and DevOps and the AL language and the way
Right,
things you everyone
exactly,
is learning. So
exactly. See, you mentioned Eric and Waldo. Boy, those are the guys to follow, and it's always fun to
yep.
talk to them as well. And I think we have Eric coming up on a three questions with pretty soon as well.
Oh,
But
great.
not to get too far off track. Great intro, and actually, you mentioned something I did want to ask you about as well. You being newer to kind of the not really nav world, but the Business
Right.
Central community anyway. I'm just interested in your thoughts about how you're finding the community. I've always seen them very, very similar in just how passionate folks are in the community and so forth, but then different in a way that I could never quite put my finger on as well. I'm wondering about you.
Um, well, I the GP community was great. Very, very supportive, interactive, from forums to the user groups to the conferences. Very, very active. Lots of participation,
Yeah.
and I am slowly moving into the BC world, so I didn't have as much visibility, but now that I am participating and seeing the interaction, I think it's fantastic. It does seem to be a little more on the technical side, at least the folks that I'm seeing interact on, say, Twitter, for
Hmm.
example, and many of the conferences seem to be additionally more technical focused. NavTech days, for instance,
Yeah. Right.
um,
Right.
but the community is fantastic. And I recently did a blog post on that. I have a series of why BC is amazing and why Business Central is amazing, and the most recent
Excellent.
one was community. And out on Twitter, I get instant replies, people contributing, people offering suggestions, and
Yeah.
within an hour, problem is solved. So people are
Right.
very,
Right.
very sharing in the community. And we
Yeah.
recently had a couple conferences. One was Dynamics Con.
Hmm.
Great participation in the Business Central track, great sessions. Everyone had a great time interacting. The Q&A was very lively. So
Yes.
I
Right.
think and it's still developing and growing, because I get the feeling that Business Central is a little different in terms of how people are interacting versus, say, a traditional nav partner and customer.
Yeah.
So I think the Business Central community is thriving,
Hmm.
absolutely thriving.
I'd agree with that. Both, that is one of the many things and similar with that in the GP community. Just people that care, want to help others,
Yep.
will figure out the time and step out and really try to help and share their experiences. Which that's why I've been involved with so long. It's just that helping aspect and wanting to share. I love that. Absolutely love it.
And what one thing that is different about Business Central versus most of the GP things I saw was there seems to now be, at least on the development side, a
Hmm.
lot of open source and free projects. So, for example, there are Visual Studio tools, or excuse me, VS Code add-ins and extensions. So Waldo has done one. There's several others, really incredible,
Yeah.
valuable
Yeah.
tools, and
Yeah.
several people have open source projects. So, the Business Central AL code, the availability of that code, I think has encouraged people to create open source projects and share that code with the community, which was something that was a little
Yeah.
more difficult in the GP world since that
Right.
code was not open sourced.
Right. Yes. I change has enabled
Yep.
that. much more easily. So yeah, excellent. All right. So hey, let's wrap up with the three questions. And you live in California, correct?
Yes, Los
Where?
Angeles area.
Los Angeles. California has always intrigued me. What a beautiful state, what a varied and diverse state. So much happening there, very large state.
Yeah,
Uh, I've seen numbers where if it was its own economy, it'd be in the top 20 in the world or something like that.
something like
It's,
that.
yeah. So tell me a little bit more about California and why you like living there.
Well, I came to California for college, so s- my college is outside of Los Angeles, about 45, 60 miles, something like that, east of Los Angeles area. And so I'm kind of a transplant in California. I worked with Deloitte in downtown LA, and so I just became further entrenched in the Los
Sure.
Angeles area.
Yeah.
And now that have family here and have been working here from a home office for, gosh, 13 years now, um, I guess the one thing that I try to take advantage of, and if you follow me on, anyone who follows me on Twitter will see that, see my photos. I try to get out of the office. I try to work outside. So I'm 15 minutes from the beach. So I can head down to the beach, work off of my cell phone tethered, and have lunch by the beach. I can go to
Excellent.
the park nearby. So I'm able to enjoy that. So it's like, okay, I'm here. I might as well enjoy it. So I actively try to work outside. Just bought a new laptop. So I start roaming around, find new places where there's a good cell phone connection,
Right.
and I'm up and running.
Excellent. I thought you were just rubbing it into everybody, but you truly celebrate it, so that's
No,
good.
no, and yeah, it was actually many people follow Troy Hunt on Twitter, and
Mhm.
that was actually the inspiration for it. He lives in the, I think it's called the Gold Coast area north of Sydney, Australia, and the photos he posts on Twitter are absolutely stunning, and he
Yeah.
celebrates the amazing weather and climate and the beautiful landscape. So I was like, hey, it's a fantastic idea. And
Yeah.
Kristen Hosman, a
Yeah.
recent Business Central MVP, she started a hashtag or thing on Twitter where we did, gosh, lunchtime Twitter. I think it was something like that, where you go outside and you post a photo of
Yeah.
what you're doing for lunch. And so we started doing that. So I was like, hey, I might as well make this a habit, go outside, do some
Beautiful.
work or whatever, and then post a photo. So
Beautiful.
that's the history. No, just
Boy.
celebrating some nice weather.
We just did three questions with her last week as well.
Oh,
So
fantastic.
yeah. But I got to tell you, what a healthy perspective, especially this year. So
Yep.
key to just kind of maintaining some semblance of balance and normalcy. So that's beautiful to hear.
Excellent.
Fantastic. Have you been to the Channel Islands?
I have not, just Catalina Island
Yeah.
or
Oh,
Catalina
I'm
Island.
sorry, Catalina. That's what they're called.
Yes,
Yes.
I've been
Channel
out to
Islands
Canada.
is
Well,
someplace
there is
very different.
Channel Islands off of Ventura Coast, but I don't know how accessible they are.
Okay.
I know they're used for science teams go out there and study the islands, but I don't
That's
know.
why it's
I've
in my
never
head.
been to visit them. Yep.
Yeah. But yes, I meant Catalina because
Okay.
yeah, just seen pictures there. That looks fascinating as well. So, all right.
It is. It is very nice.
Yeah, we'll put that on your list. Maybe I'll come out and see them with you. If we can get together in directions in San Diego
Yes.
next April.
Is that
Uh,
when it? I haven't checked the dates of the
yeah,
location. San Diego.
San Diego.
Well,
Yes.
that's perfect. The last one was in San Diego that I went to. It was beautiful down there.
Oh, yeah,
Actually, it's
fantastic.
before Vegas, I think, 2 years ago. But
Yeah.
yeah, San
Yep.
Diego is gorgeous. I'd love to go. That would be awesome.
Awesome. All right. We'll plan on that. Otherwise, I know you are busy, so thank you very, very much for spending some time with us and being subjected to all of these weird questions. But Steve,
No
great to
problem.
talk to you.
Thank you very much.
And everyone, hope you enjoy it. If you have suggestions of who I should talk to or anything else that you'd like to see, let us know. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. Be safe out there. Take care. We'll see you soon. Thanks for watching.